Are you a South African musician trying to figure out how to get your music playlisted on South African radio? Welcome to this episode where I plan on demystifying just that. So, getting good radio PR is something that I have been toying with, and I finally got the courage to work with a great company called Tickybox Media to get my music playlisted on nothing less than 10 radio stations. And not only did I get the playlisting, I also got a TV interview and I got some press on several news outlets. So in this video, I'm basically going to share the steps that I took in order to get to the point where this was possible. So the very first thing that you want to get sorted out is the music. You want the music to be mixed and mastered, and preferably, if you're trying to get on radio, to be radio friendly. Now, I'm not saying this is a fixed rule per se, but you want your music to be more or less in line to what is playing every day on radio in order to get playlisted. And this might change depending on when you're watching this, but at the time of this recording, genres such as Afro-pop, Amapiano, etc., that is what's trending. But I highly suggest that you spend time on radio to do a radio analysis to hear what is playing, how long it is playing, what genres are being played, etc., etc. The very next thing, you want to get the admin work done. So that means registering on SAMRO, SAMPRA, Capasso, etc. And also assigning your ISRC code. The reason you want to do all this backend work is because when you finally go to reach out to Tickybox Media to get your radio PR done, you want to have all this in one sheet so they can hit the ground running. But before you even go to them, there's one more piece of the puzzle that you want to get sorted out, and that is to sort out your press release. Now, I have made a video giving tips on how to go about making a press release. You can watch that later. But what I highly suggest is you head over to Tickybox Media. They've got a section where it's called Artist News, and then you look at the several type of artists that they work with and kind of use the type of lingo to make your press release. And if you actually look carefully, you'll find a picture of my latest single, Not Coming Home, on their Artist News. So you can either pay someone else to write a press release for you, or you can write your own press release. That's what I did. Have a look at several types of press releases and try craft your own based on what type of genre and what feel you're going after. Remember, a good press release kind of has a story, so you want to have a story so Tickybox Media can work with the release in order to try to get you more placements, etc., etc. However, if you do not want to be doing the press releases yourself, Tickybox Media can offer those services and do the press release for you. If you don't have the images that you need for your press release, Tickybox Media also does professional photography. You can head over to their website to see exactly what type of photography they do and to see if it matches your needs. And Tickybox Media does all sorts of radio PR or music PR in general. So depending on what you're after and your budget, you can go to them and they can tailor make whatever you are trying to achieve based on your budget and what is possible with them. So both parties, Tickybox Media and yourself, can meet at a common ground and agree on terms that suit you. So by now you've mixed and mastered your music, registered with all organizations, organized all your metadata. Now you move on to Tickybox Media. Once you've made your final press release, you contact them and you tell them that you're interested in getting radio plugging in order to get your music playlisted, or if you have a music video that you want that to be plugged, they can also do that. They have a range of services, so spend time on their website to figure out what exactly works with the type of media that you have on outlet. Another consideration before you head off is you want to give some time, preferably nothing less than a month, in order to get your music distributed, i.e. get your music on iTunes, Spotify, etc. So you get the whole process sorted out. But you can contact Joanne at Tickybox Media in order to come up with a good strategy. They also do get your music on streaming platforms, but you will have to negotiate to see what best works with what you want to do and how they can accommodate what your current situation is. I was able to contact them, and then we were able to come with an arrangement where they got me some playlisting, some digital media, and I also got a TV interview where I got to talk more about my specific release. And to add that, I was also able to get a radio interview. Then approximately after a month, I got a report over the month about where everything was released. Tickybox Media gives you a fairly detailed report telling you where they submitted, which radio stations rejected, and which ones gave some form of feedback. This is kind of interesting to know because you want to basically, once you do it once, the next time you do it, you kind of tailor and tinker better with your next release, considering that you're an independent musician and don't always have a manager to tell you what works and what doesn't. And another thing I highly suggest is that you have some form of story to push it through. So in my case, I was stuck abroad and I released a project while in quarantine in another country. That is some kind of interesting story. Not saying it's the most interesting, but that's the type of thing you want to do in every type of marketing around your music. Don't just make it Skill is releasing a new single. Try make it some kind of story, something more tangible, so that the PR company has something to work with. And another suggestion is PR is kind of a two-sided sword. On the one side, you have Tickybox Media doing the radio plugging, the PR work, music PR. And then on the other side, you have to be there continuously engaging and interacting with the listeners, or i.e. your fans, and giving different ways of marketing your music so that you have more wind to push the sale of your release. They're also fairly active on Instagram and Twitter, sometimes on Facebook too. They do tag you on all these places so you can keep on propelling your release for more people to hear, thus making the release seem bigger and bigger and bigger. I'd like to send a shout out to Tickybox Media for working with me for the release of Not Coming Home. And if you want a discount, just send an email. The email will be in the description below, and tell the person you're talking to, most likely Joanne, send her an email and tell her that you watched this video on my channel and you are interested in radio plugin. You will get yourself a discount. And if you want a few tips on writing a better press release, have a watch at this video giving you tips on that.